Hello.
It's not even up yet. He's got a timer on it. He's got like a 1 minute delay before it starts. So now we're just seeing a major screen of Formula Virtual Racing. Let me see if this stream's already started. Nope, still not. Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh yeah, there we go. Jeez, that took a long time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another round of Formula Virtual GT7. We're in Tier 1. We're at Watkins, Glen, the American circuit. No experience for me on any of the GT qualification, but I'm not alone. I'm being helped by Elliot here. Elliot, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Cal. How are you?
Oh, hi, I'm doing so well. I've been summoned by Evan basically to do some commentary here. I've been not been paid, so if anyone wants to donate, do it right now because I deserve money for what I'm doing here. We've got a qualification ahead of us, alongside as a championship battle as well. The champions battle is being fought out between Atta Team Glen and I believe the name is Rami Azam. I don't see him in the race at the moment. Can you maybe see Rami in here? I don't think he's in here.
Is it Canadian Ramster? Is that?
Oh, that might be him. I'm uncertain at the moment, but it would be a bummer if both of the drivers weren't in there. Anyway, all the drivers are already out on track. Some are more eager than others. Nathan Marriott's going to be the first one to do a lap. Beautiful car that is, green livery. On the, please, that's a Lexus? No, it's a BMW. I'm blind. Yeah, interesting race. You've got some more experience here. Tell me about this qualification. How important is it for your race?
Well, it's pretty difficult to make moves. We know that in the previous rounds, it's been pretty difficult later on in the race, especially. Also, 10-minute quali only, so really short on time on mistakes on laps and stuff. So
yeah, you gotta get it right away, basically, is what you're saying. And I believe track position is also going to be a big thing. Even though you've got major strategies which you could choose from, you could vary, you could go on the mediums probably. I don't know if usually that is some sort of thing drivers do. They go on a different set of compounds here, do they?
Well, everyone out there is on the softs at the minute. How quickly the degradation is, we might see some pit stops about 5 minutes in, just to switch onto a fresh set.
Yeah, no, that's way smarter actually. And for the race, do you usually see like people going on mediums, on different strategies, or is that not the case?
Yeah, usually it's a soft to medium. We don't see the hards that often, unless there's a first corner incident and someone decides to pit on the first lap.
Yeah.
Go for the like ultra undercut.
That is a really big undercut indeed. Yeah, no, that's gonna be an interesting one then to see how the strategies will work out as well. Still though, I think quali is gonna be a big one on a track like this. I mean, you've got the back straight here. You've got the first run up, basically the first finishing straight line. Those are the only two real easy opportunities to pass. Then you've got some corner like the toe, for example, the first corner. Maybe an overtake or two there. I don't know about any other parts of the track. I think it's going to be hard. Surely with 8 drivers behind you as well, and they're all eager and they're all close, is what I heard as well, right? Quite close together, this pack?
Yeah, these guys are at quite a high level, so this field spread's quite small.
Yeah, so then we're going to definitely see some tight battling as well as, I mean, strategy is going to play a big part anyway, but I think between these guys, when there's such a small difference between cars, it's going to be insanely fun. And yeah, it's the first time for me as well, so people in the chat, maybe help me out with some names, some strategies or some insights. That would always be fun to hear about. We're going to follow Nathan Marriott here on the first lap. It's going to be a 41, 42, 43... 43.7 is going to be your provisional pole time. It's going to be Canadian Ramster actually, or no, Atte Timgren, I'm talking too soon, taking provisional pole position there. It's going to be a 43.366, which is the time to beat at the moment, and I do think Canadian Ramster is Rami, because he's quite close to the other times. Everyone's close.
Yeah, they've all gone out pretty much in the same area of track there. They're not really going for gaps. They've all trying to push it as hard as they can, try and use all the time they have.
Yeah, it's noticeably close actually. Would you think dirty air would maybe play an effect on these laps?
Well, certainly in that second sector where we've got a lot of twisty corners, dirty air is going to play quite a major role, but I think they're going to gain that back down that back straight.
Yeah,
in terms of toe. So,
yeah, no, exactly. That is also a good point, indeed. Sharp co-commentator over here, pointing me the things wrong. It's interesting for me. This, it's yeah, I've never done this before on a Gran Turismo platform, and I'm really looking forward to it actually. Atte Timgren now improving as well, a 10th down, while loads of drivers have caught on penalties, getting outside of the racing line, which is neat to see. See if Atte can improve on this lap. He's in the orange Corvette. Looks interesting. It looks like a nice car actually. Is there a livery contest in here? Because who would win it? Yeah.
I think Nathan Marriott in that green.
Oh yeah.
M6. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I've got it on stream right now. It's just a really neat car. It's really well designed. He does a 43.6. Not enough for pole position, but it is a respectable lap. Atte Timgren in the meantime has improved. Small margins. Cameron Kaboom now up into the top. Beautiful blue car as well here. They've made some nice liveries. Hopefully they've also practiced enough and not only focused on their liveries. Canadian Ramster not seeing the best times as of now. The grid is also really close time-wise. Look at that. The gap between P7 and P4 is basically a 10th.
It's less than a second, the field spread, so really quite close.
It's going to be slipstream mania on the race, I fear, and that's going to cause some incidents for sure, so we'll see about that. Look at those lines they're taking. I don't know if you... Yeah, oh no, that's a penalty. Okay, yeah, that explains it. They were going through the fast chicane after the straight, and they basically hit the grass, so I don't know... Yeah, they got a penalty for it. Yeah, no, that's explained everything. Loads of penalties, actually. Do they usually play so much of a factor in the race? Well,
we've not really been to tracks where it's that easy to get track limits, like Tokyo Expressway, the last race, that was a street circuit. But already seeing quite a few penalties coming into play, so I think in the race they'll play quite an important role.
Yeah, indeed. It's gonna definitely kick some cars back, I think, and that's also going to be interesting. Surely when you haven't really had a track yet, which is so easy to get a track limit on, this track is looking to be very hard for people. I see multiple penalties basically every part of the lap, as we see a first pitter there. That's early. It's gone on to the softs there. Oh, it's already 7 minutes in actually. We're zooming through the time. Cameron Kaboom is also on the lap.
We've got another one as well, Atte Timgren in the pits for some more tyres. So everyone choosing, well, most choosing to stick a fresh set on for a final lap or two towards the end of quali.
Giving themselves those last two shots to get a nice look at pole position, and pole position is not far away. It is really close today. It's basically 2 tenths down, and even if you're last place right now, that would mean 8 tenths to pole position. That is ridiculous. It's really close.
Yeah, it is. These guys all at quite a high level. Possibly we're going to see more penalties in qualifying, where you can sort of push the limits a bit more. Everyone's going to be searching for time, of course, trying to push it, and then in the race they might calm down just a little bit, knowing that track position is very important around here, as it is quite difficult to overtake.
Definitely. It's also going to be, of course, the risk you are willing to take. You know, if you catch on the grass here and you hit the wall, you lose your car, get some damage while your race is over. Surely with such a close grid. So indeed, these guys are going to probably, I mean, I hope, slow down a bit and take not as much risks, because you could see loads of risks being taken early on in the session. Right now you see possible maybe 7 people on an outlap right now. Yeah, it's only Cameron Kaboom who hasn't pitted yet. I'm gonna see about his lap actually. I'm gonna follow him around these last few corners. Looking at it, the Mercedes seems to be a bit of a, well, of the better cars of the pack you could choose from. It's a 44-0 right now. Is there any preference in cars between these people that you know of?
Certainly in Tier 2, the 650S looked a little bit better, to have the upper hand really on the Mercedes, but it looks like the Mercedes in Tier 1. Yeah,
it does look like the Mercedes, and then there is actually quite a mix of cars. You've got the beautiful Nathan Marriott livery there. If there was a championship going on about liveries, he would have won it. And then you have Vesta Gobadi in the McLaren, very blue car, Spider GT. He just stole my team's name and put it on the car. Okay, yeah, well, Vesta Gobadi there, ladies and gentlemen. You've got Mercedes as well, of Toussaint, if I hope I pronounce it right. Also a really nice livery. These guys have done amazing with the liveries.
Yeah, I mean, look at P9, that Aston Martin, the Martini.
Yeah.
Looks very nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have taken some inspiration from older liveries as well, which is always nice to see. Yeah, it has been a great. This would make a great livery contest. Let's hope the racing is as good as the liveries are. Canadian Ramster is also in the pits now. He's gonna go for nothing because he's stood still. Has he given up? Yeah, I think he has.
The final lap now, so this is the one that counts.
Gonna see what's going on then. We're gonna follow Atte Timgren, of course. He's gonna be not the first one to cross the line. Let's see who is. It's gonna be Cameron Kaboom actually. We're gonna follow him. He is weaving. I think he's given up. Dutchy maybe? No, he's also off on his lap. And Nathan Marriott is far away. We're gonna follow Atte. Atte is only a 10th of his time at the moment. He's entering these last corners right now, so we're gonna follow him through the whole thing. Maybe see if he can improve on his lap, get him even better as he goes through the final corner up towards the final straight. It's gonna be a 41, 42, 43.4. It's not an improvement, but he has pole at the moment. Any contenders? Nathan Marriott possibly. Vesta Gobadi is already finished, so that's over. Toussaint, no threat. It's only Nathan. Let's see then, last corner. Gonna be tight. It's already on the 40s, so 41, 42, 43. No, it's not gonna be pole position, but it's gonna be an improvement, and that is respectable. P5 for Nathan Marriott, and Atte Timgren takes pole position.
Yeah, it was a good lap there in the end. He did improve. The gaps were small between P4 and P5. 0.015 of a second there, so quite a small
blink of
spread.
an eye basically. That's going to be way closer. And if you look at the gap between P9 and P1, it's only 8 tenths. It's screaming that the race is all to play for, so it's going to be an interesting one. Now, I usually in F1 I ask a question to my co-commentator: who's going to win this race? And I'm still going to ask it now. Who's going to win this race, Elliot?
My money's on the Corvette, Atte Timgren.
You're choosing the safe option.
Yeah, he's a good chunk ahead of Cameron Kaboom.
Yeah, it's not really close battle for P1 and P2, so yeah, my money would go on him too. Not only because it's Atte, it's also because he's part of my team, so he better win. Cameron then, still close enough though, so you can maybe see some action in the first corner, which well, we did study a lot before this commentary gig, right? So we know the corner is called the 90. The 90-degree corner pointing to the north. It's going to be an interesting one into turn 1. This is one of those corners where, well, it's basically a Monza corner, something like that, where you usually have people taking some dive bomb risks, people forgetting to brake, hopefully not in Tier 1, but it happened in Tier 2, so we're going to see what's going on. We'll see it happening soon. I believe there's a little break between these races, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Qualifying, it's small break before the race will start.
Alright, perfect. Well, then we've got some time to analyze these liveries a bit more. Yeah, obviously we got Nathan Marriott with the green livery. We've talked about that quite a while, but all the other liveries look really clean, if I have to say. And actually see two similar liveries there. We've got Dutchy and Timgren. I think they're in the same team, right? Because there's also a team championship.
There is a team championship, yeah. Dutchy and Timgren, I think, are on the same team.
Yep, they are. It's called Time to Race, I believe, and they are currently in... Oh no, it's not Time to Race. It's... Sorry, I have to actually check that. That is a yellow team. That is Speed Demons. They are in the lead. So, the championship leaders for the constructors are Speed Demons, the two yellowish, orange, purple cars, followed by the Rami team, Time to Race. It's a close battle between those two teams, sorry, as well. Gonna be interesting to see in the race. See loads of drivers complaining about some connection issues.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It seemed alright to me on my end.
Me too. I didn't really have any issues with the lagging of people. Maybe must be just someone else just desyncing or something.
Yeah.
Gonna see when this race starts.
Of course, they can start on any tyre they wish.
Oof,
so it'd be interesting. Usually it's a medium to soft or a soft to medium. We don't see the hards that often. So it should be pretty interesting to see the sort of split strategies that people go for.
Definitely. I think if you go on a softs on the early part, which would be my preference, I don't know if it's yours as well, but I prefer to go on the softs just to show how fast I am and then completely blow it in the second part of the race when I am in the mediums. Do you usually prepare for a race by going on a softs on the beginning, or?
I prefer the mediums, so that later on in the race, when lower on fuel, you can really push on the softs.
That's a fair point. That's probably better than my strategy, which is usually just blowing the race in the second stint, but that's a different story as well. It's the consistency that matters in the end. It's not the part of the tires you're on. Let's see it then. The final... so, not the final. It's the race is starting. It's stuck on my screen.
It's stuck on my screen as well.
Oh.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
It is a standing... Oh, no, it's not a standing start. It's a disconnect. And this is the point where we are gonna unfortunately have to restart the lobby. So bear with us. Just gonna wait it out here. That is unfortunate. Just gonna quickly ask the staff what is happening, and then we're gonna...
The host's games crashed.
Great timing for that as well, you know, just as we were about to start.
Timing, yeah.
It's amazing. Is he paid off to just, like, you know, annoy us? Oh, Avesta Gubadi actually reported in the Discord, don't start. Like a minute before Nathan Marriott started, so I think this might be Avesta Gubadi breaking and entering into the house of Nathan and pulling the plug, you know. It might have been that. Don't want to point any fingers, but he is a tricky man. Right then, we've got some stuff to talk through though. We've got no penalty points in this competition at the moment, which is really interesting to see. Surely because it's not only because it's FVR, but also because it's a GT7 weekly league where you usually see dirty driving a lot, or well, not dirty driving, just incidental bad driving. Really cool to see no penalty points. I don't know if it's in tier 2 the same thing. Elliot,
tier
maybe
2, there's a little bit. I think last race there was an incident. A couple of laps in, there was a bit of a pile-up, but tier 1 seems to be the standard of driving in tier 1 is absolutely brilliant from the races I've watched. So I can't see anything happening in this upcoming race, any incidents or anything.
Yeah,
we'll just have to see.
Fair enough then. That's tier 2 must be enjoyable to commentate on as well then, with the incidents or not.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting.
It's interesting. That's a politically correct answer, we call that in the Netherlands. I think it's the same in English. That's a perfect answer to a not so perfect question. Now we've got some interesting racing going on. I think Tier 1 will be a good one for the race as well. As the new lobby is set up apparently. I'm trying to join it, but it's not working. See if I maybe am...
Let's see. I think you have to reload the lobby screen. That's
yeah, I am gonna reload the thing, that's better. And confirming Rami Azam is Canadian Ramster. I just saw him type on the Discord, they have the same name. So... that's perfect. Now we know.
Yeah, brilliant.
If we didn't have the lobby disconnect, we wouldn't know. It's the glass is half full type of stuff, you know? Just gotta stay positive through it. Now we're gonna see if this race still goes according to plan. The records are all equal as well, so we really have a... well, it's a young season. Is basically what I'm noting right now. Tier 2 has finished in the meantime. Maybe you have some updates on that?
Tier 2... Tier 2, has it finished?
Yeah, I think it has. I don't know the standings. I think Liam Huisman was in the lead. I had to basically close and open my eyes 3 times before I confirmed it, but Liam Huisman has, I think, won a race. Again. Which is mind-blowing to me, but to others apparently it's logical. Liam, yeah, I was forced to do this by Avesta, but I had to basically give a little internet punch to Liam there. It's yeah, let's just stop talking about Liam now. We're gonna continue on.
Yeah,
everyone's back in the lobby. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, all these drivers are now back in the lobby finally. It's gonna take a while before we get started. 8, I believe we were at 9, right? We're now with 7? Yeah, we were with 9.
Yeah, we were with 9.
Let's see how fast this... Yep, perfect. Just a bit late, but we're still racing, which is good. So usually, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where I tell you fun facts about the track. Luckily for you, I do have some. It's just gonna take a while to load them in because, well, I've been called up last minute, and in my defense, that's a good reason to not be that prepared. 2.3 mile long track, 11 corners. It's gonna be located in, actually, that's surprising where it's located. I didn't know that. North America. I thought it was oh yeah, Northern America makes sense, but I didn't know it was in like North America, if you know what how do you explain this? It's basically near Canada. For a racetrack that is risky. The snow and everything. Yeah. Piero is suggesting a reverse grid. That would be perfect. Yeah, Atim, thanks for confirming. Yeah, Nathan's games crashed. We're back though. We're live again. As we just got the green flags from the racing director, we are good to go in brackets again. Let's hope this time we don't fling out of the session. Let's hope Nathan doesn't forget to enter. Yeah, there we go. Oh, let's see, we could actually see everyone's on the mediums except Atte. Atte is on the softs, everyone else is on the mediums.
Interesting choice then, from the pole man.
It's gonna blow away and then like get caught up after like 4 laps. It's gonna be really interesting to see then. Might it be a lone strategy winner? That would be cool to see, the whole grid choosing the wrong strategy except one guy.
Or it might be the other way around.
Yeah, that's probably how it's gonna go. But yeah, it is good to see someone going for an alternative strategy here at least. This beautiful orange shiny car. Everyone else is indeed on the mediums.
Yeah, I think Deg's pretty high around here, so interesting choice to go for the softs at the start.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. You'd pit earlier though, so you'd undercut them technically, which in theory, and now that I say it out loud, sounds logical. But then again, I have not really got a lot of experience with races that last like an hour. I usually do a bit longer than that. It may be something different as the race is starting, as I just caught Pierre going straight on into the camera. Let's see the start then. We've got a standing start, I think. Yeah, we do. I don't see the lights. Oh, there we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. And away we go, and that is a poor start by the midfield there, but Atte is gone already. He's got the soft advantage as Canadian Ramstar covers the inside for Vestagobadi to not go in. A little bit of lag going on as well, but these cars do make it through alive. All of them make it through alive. A little bit of an extension going on by Toussaint. In the meantime, everyone's still close together. No moves being made into the first 2 corners, and this looks like a really clean start. This is impressing me already, this race. Loads of people still close together in the midfield there. There's a small pack, which bad start by Nathan Marriott there. They're all close by, and now side to side as well. Let's see who makes it through the corner first, and that is Nathan Marriott still covering the position. Great start by everyone.
Yeah, Atte Timgren's got to get a shift on those soft tyres. He cannot be caught fighting Cameron. With that tyre deficit, he does not want to be stuck behind him. He needs to be pulling a bit of a gap.
Definitely. If you start battling now with those guys, you're gonna end up losing the position, and you obviously will be on worse tires later on as well. This is the moment where Atte needs to be fast and be himself, basically, which is fast, and get away. Because he can't be fighting, or he can't even be close to the rest of the field. He's got a great getaway right now, but he can't lose any more time. Meantime, we've got a battle here going on. In the background, it is Toussaint with... Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, these camera angles are a bit different than F1. Got Bonival on the outside here, trying to make a move on Toussaint. It's not sticking right now. Maybe a little bit of a switchback. No, not a switchback, definitely not. He's sticking in the slipstream for now. And I think all of these guys will... Because there's a long straight coming up, and that's going to be interesting going into tow.
Yeah, all those that are just a little bit behind the guy in front can get in that tow and go for it into turn 1.
Yep, let's see it happening then. Is there anyone close to the slipstream up front? Yes, there is. Canadian Ramster. Is he going to go for the move? No, he sticks behind. Perfectly clean driving there. Toussaint, inside line, not enough. Vestagobadi's lagging a lot on my screen. Teleporting almost everywhere but the track. See if it... Oh yeah, it's got a penalty as well now. That is unfortunate. And he moves to the outside line now, and he backs off, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his... Oh, he looks like he's disconnected.
Yeah, unfortunate. Bonival in the meantime, really close behind. Toussaint making a move? Not yet. Staying close behind. These guys do not want to be fighting as much though, because I do think that they're still going to run out of tires a bit faster if they keep doing stuff like this. And that is your only advantage to the guy who is currently 1.2 seconds ahead after 1 lap. And that is concerningly fast.
Yeah, he needs to keep his consistency though. He's just dipped a wheel on the grass exiting that corner there. If he makes a mistake, obviously in these early stages the gap isn't brilliant, so if he makes a mistake, he will drop
Definitely.
or drop time. So
yeah, definitely, and that is the risky part of this soft strategy. It's a bold strategy, I must say, but it might just work out in the end. We'll have to see later on. Dutch Y in the meantime, Dutchy or Dutch Y, and chasing Rami, the championship contender between... Sorry, the battle between him and Atte is really close. It's only 1 point. At the moment, virtually, Atte is retaking this lead by going so fast up front, and it looks like Rami's not catching up to Cameron as much.
Yeah, but we are gonna see down this main straight they are reasonably close, so we might see tow coming into effect for P3, P4.
Oh yeah, that definitely. There's even a... Yeah, that's gonna be even worse for him if P4 overtakes him. That would... he gone a little bit to the outside there. I do think that might be a penalty. I saw all 4 wheels off the track, but I'm also legally blind, so I'm not certain about that. Nathan Marriott in the meantime is... also catching up. Bit in a
penalty up front. Penalty up front.
Oh no, it is. And these are the moments we were talking about. No mistakes, and that's a big one.
That's going to drop him, because it's not just half a second. It's all that time getting back up to speed. So it's probably about 7/10.
It is, and it might even be more. It depends on where this penalty area is. I think it's not on the straight, right? Like before the... Oh yeah, no, it's here. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna lose a bit more than 5/10. Luckily, it's not as bad as something like Daytona, where you'd get like maybe 1.5 seconds penalty every half a second penalty. But yeah, these are these moments which you can't have right now in the lead. Look at how much he's gonna lose here. It's now 2.4, it's 2.2, 2.0, 1.9, 1.8, and it's dropping and dropping only more and more. He's basically lost a whole second there.
Yeah, it's just these early phases. He needs to be as consistent as possible. It's all good pushing. If you make a mistake, especially when you've not built that gap yet, it can all go wrong. But we have got a penalty for P2 there as well.
Yep, we have caught that just now, and that was a mistake as well going into that corner. A little bit of a slide, and he's losing loads of time now. So Atte has maybe been sent a God's gift here, which we could call it. That 5/10 is going to drop him back into maybe the arms of P3, and that's going to be a battle later on. We're going to have to see. No slipstream battles as of now, as all of these cars are separated quite equally. But they're also close still. Any mistake and you're far down the order.
Yeah. P2 then. It's got a reasonable gap to P3, so I can't see a move being made immediately, but he will come under pressure going down that main straight, because the gap will be a lot smaller than what it is right now.
Indeed, and that might play a good factor for Atte actually. The battle between him and the battle between P2 and P3 will be on, and that battle will lose them time, meaning Atte can get away a bit more, but no mistakes can be made again. So all pressure is still on Atte right now to get away, because these mediums, they are not wearing as fast as the softs are for sure. Let's see it happening then. Oof! Rami's gone wide there and he's lost the position, I think. No, he's not, but it's oh so close, and it might be a penalty as well. Outside line now for Dutchie. Not going to be enough. Or is it? So close. And now, of course, the car ahead also closing up. So who's going to win this one? It's the guy in the slipstream, I think. No, it's not. Dutchie might go for the inside here. Oof. Still close, but he's got it, and that is a nice move there after a mistake by Rami. And something you cannot do when you're fighting for the championship is making mistakes like these. See it happening on the straight.
That's really going to hamper Rami there, especially in his fight for the championship. He can't get caught up battling these guys. He needs to be focused on that P1.
Indeed, he needs to be there right now actually, and he's not. He's very far away. He's actually got a worse exit right now coming onto the main straight, meaning he will still gain some time thanks to the toe, but it's not going to be enough for him to make a move for P3 or anywhere else. And in the meantime, your leader, Atte Timgren, is fighting for like hell and going 3.6 seconds up the lead.
Yeah, he's just set the fastest lap of the race there, a 43.9. So there is a point for fastest lap in this league.
That point's going to count very well, because 1 point is the difference between P2 and P1 in the championship. So I think that might be already the equalizer, and then we're not even going to talk about the difference in points that are going to be scored today. Surely when Rami is in P4, which is really not great.
No, it's not. He needs to be getting past Dutchie as quickly as he can.
Yeah, indeed, and he needs to stay ahead as well, because those mistakes that you were making earlier were not good.
Because Atte out front is pushing even harder. He's faster on this lap. He's up on his delta, down now. But in that first sector, he was up by about half a tenth. So he's not letting off just yet.
Indeed, and now we've got Rami though on the inside, maybe making a move. Let's see if it sticks with it. No, it's so close, these cars. He doesn't make it stick just yet, and now the inside line is for Dutchie, and it is. Oh, these guys are really close together. They're practically on the back of each other, and they still manage to not outbrake each other, which is great racing. But yeah, Rami's gonna suffer for this one. He needs to get past. End of story basically. Let's see it this straight then. Maybe there is a chance here with the toe. Again, a really bad exit by him compared to Dutchie, and that might already have ruined his chance of getting back on the toe. It's going to be enough. No, it's not going to be enough. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Atte pulling even more time out on that lap. It was another fastest lap, that last one. So he's really pushing now. 4.7 to P2, and then from P2 to P3 a 1.8.
And he's only 6 laps in. He's doing considerably well on tire wear as well. If you look at it, it's only maybe 75% left of the tires. It's not as bad as I was expecting. I think there's a major drop off though, so he needs to get the time now before it's too late.
Yeah. If you look at P5 as well, tyre wear on Nathan Marriott looks to be a little bit worse than those around him.
Yeah, indeed. And maybe some pushing there, or possibly the BMW being a brick like it's usually. We've got Toussaint in the meantime also on the back of him, and he's going to suffer from the tyre wear. He's going to lose every lap. Every corner is going to be a little bit harder for the BMW. May look like a nice car, but it surely isn't a nice car to him right now.
No, I can't see that being very fun to drive at the minute, especially with the pressure he's coming under from P6. When those two start to battle, as it looks like he... Phew, that was close there.
That was really close. He needs to watch out with these moves though. It's an unforgiving track, really. I've practiced here in my long career of professional esports driving, which I don't have. Oh, penalty, Cameron! Completely lost it in the meantime under pressure there. And Alta is flying away. In the end, the bold strategy might just work out because of these mistakes. As I was saying though, my professional racing career here lasted 5 laps. This track is horrendous. I don't know who designed it. I don't know what kind of drugs he was on, but it's just unforgiving in all parts of the circuit. If you go on the grass bonds, if you extend your lines a bit, if you make a touristical deviation from the track, it's over. You hit the wall and it's done for. It's a really unforgiving track. Do you have any experience with this track and the unforgivingness of it?
Yeah, you make one mistake, you're on the grass, you're in the wall, because the walls are just so close to that edge of the track.
Yeah, of course, and it's not even like Tokyo, right, where there is, you know, the walls are basically the track limits. But the way you can leave this track and never rejoin it until you have hit the wall is just insane. It's like magnets.
It is. It's absolutely unforgiving. But P2 then, with a 1.3 second gap to P3, are you going to see some action here?
Maybe, possibly. He's getting a lot closer, and of course, reminder, that big straight, that big long straight is coming up where the Tau is playing into such a big effect as well. The AMG might not be the fastest on the straight line speed compared to the... Oh wait, they're both AMGs, that's... okay. I thought that was a Corvette I was watching. But yeah, still, way too close to the grass there, but also close to each other. Maybe a move being made here. 5/10 is decent, maybe a better exit, and it's over for Cameron. Cameron seems to be cracking under pressure. Oof, he's hit the wall as well. Minor collision with the wall, no damage I believe, but still really close.
Yeah, doesn't look to be any damage on Cameron there, but P3 is closing in on him.
Yeah, definitely, and it's gonna get only closer from here on out. Once you get that Tau from basically the end of the last sector to here, you've got this free pass me card. I mean, look at this right now, how much he's gaining already. He's just gaining and gaining and gaining. He's already faster than the car ahead on top speed right now. Just not gonna be enough for this one though, but for the next lap, for sure. Tyre
wear also for Cameron looks to be a little bit of an issue.
Definitely. It looks worse than Nathan's tyre wear somehow, and that is yeah, that is really bad. Seems to be loads of struggling, and Atte, meanwhile, is just smiling and probably singing a song. 7.5 seconds ahead now.
Yeah, he's put in an absolute stint, as looks like Nathan Marriott's just dropped behind P5. P5 also with a penalty, so could start to get a little bit interesting further back.
Yep, definitely. Do you think, I've just noticed the fuel levels, I don't think we need to refuel. It doesn't look like it, at least.
Yeah.
It's gonna be...
yeah. What, about a quarter of the tank?
Yeah. And we're 8 laps in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we'll need to refuel.
That would be an interesting story as well, to see how much cars will underfuel their car just to get that 1 extra second. 8 seconds now the gaps. That is basically a second every lap except the first lap. That is insane pace, and he's maintaining it. He's consistent as of now. Look at these lap times, and that is what you're looking for when you're looking for someone who drives endurance races. 44.1, 0.3, then a 0.37, then a 0.38. It's so close together. This guy just does it all the time, and it's insane to watch. Every lap he just makes minor mistakes, and he corrects them by going a little bit faster in other parts of the track, while still maintaining his tires, because we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, he's doing an absolutely brilliant job at the minute, but those tyres looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
look to be 45% perhaps on that front left, so that might start coming into play. We might see him start to drop a bit towards Cameron.
Yeah, definitely. The tire drop is gonna hit him at some point. It's just not. It's not an if, it's a when. But the way he's handling the car right now is just it's insane. It always amazes me to see him driving like that. We had a practice session earlier for a bigger race coming up, a 24-hour race. He did 3 laps and he was on the pace of the guys who were practicing an hour long. And I just. Atta is something else with this pace right now, and it's showing again. I'm curious to see though how he will last on these mediums. Yeah,
the pace looks to be, well, the guys on the mediums are doing about a second slower than Atta. Yeah. So if you knock about a second off his pace, he's still up there with what the medium guys are doing. So the pace is there.
Yeah, we're gonna see how consistent it will be as well. I'm hoping to see it happen. As you can see, all these drivers are taking these. Yeah, no, never mind. There we go. Rami with the penalty. I was about to say they are extending the track a little bit, and now basically P2 and P3 have got a penalty. Dutchy, in the meantime, 1 second time penalty. That's gonna hit.
Yeah, but that is gonna release the pressure on P2. So that's good news for P2.
Yep, as long as he keeps the car straight though, that is off, and that's a one. Yeah,
penalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, a commentary jinx has just occurred in the GT1 competition. Oh no, they've almost hit each other as well. That would have that would have been even worse than a small jinx. Oh!
He's
Elliot,
got another penalty.
Elliot, I believe you're the one to blame on this one. That is the whole grid is getting Oh, that is a perfect example of commentary jinx there. As you can see, all these drivers are slowing down. And oh no! Cameron's hit the back of some... Oh no, never mind. That's just a glitch in my screen. That was weird. Yeah. All of these guys got a penalty. And Toussaint is wondering, am I so fast all of a sudden? I'm caught up to P4. This is interesting for him as well. He might get something out of this because the toe is going to give him some advantages too.
Yeah, and it's completely flipped. P2, P3, P4. We had Cameron P2, we had Dutchy P3, and we had Rami in P4, so it's completely switched those guys around.
Oh, and that makes this race even more interesting right now. As we enter this straight, there's going to be any move from Dutchy. Dutchy is close to Rami. Rami in P2 at the moment, though, which is, of course, because of the flipped order we just got. But 11.3 seconds now after that tomfoolery session of them is the gap to Atta, and that is... insane.
It's just pure consistency from Atta. When we've seen mistakes from these guys, Atta's been putting in the fast laps.
Indeed, and now Dutchy goes for the move on the inside. Rami pulls the inside, sorry. Dutchy goes for the outside. Let's see who gets the better line here. Rami does so well there to choose the inside line. He stays on her head for now, but he's losing time. He's losing even more time to Atta. It's oh no, he just went wide. I don't think that's a penalty. Oh, it's a penalty. Never mind, that's a jinx. A little bit of a slide there as well. Rami's going to lose this one, and he's going to lose big time. Because Cameron is also close.
As well.
Let's see it happening then. Yeah, it's this pedal for P2 has been insane. And everyone's really close together again.
Rami needs that P2 at the very least to be fighting Atta in the championship.
Definitely, that is a good spot by you. If Rami goes to P3, he loses so much more points here, and P4 would be even worse. And right now, if he makes one little mistake, it might even be P5. Toussaint hasn't done anything all race except just drive his own race, and it's working.
Yeah, he's doing a brilliant job. He's just kept the consistency, and he's caught up to those making mistakes.
Indeed, because all of these guys ahead, 44s the whole time, nearly the whole time, except for the penalties times. Toussaint, 45s the whole time through, but consistent. These guys make a couple of mistakes, Toussaint's at the back. Consistency is key. Valtteri Bottas. Just gotta quote your sources here. Alta in the meantime, 12.2 now. It's gonna be a pit stop if it doesn't watch out.
Yeah, that front left is probably going to be causing him a bit of trouble.
I fear so too, but at the moment he's made it almost halfway, and I don't know if there's tire restrictions, but he might just go for soft. At this point,
yeah. That would be interesting.
Need a better call, because look at these guys, they're not gaining. Well, they are, but it's not enough, it's not significant, and the gap he pulled at the beginning was, of course, because he's on the softs.
Yeah, and in the second stint as well, he'd have less tyre wear because he'd be on lower fuel as well.
Exactly. I think soft might be, and then the moment we were talking about it at the beginning of the race, where one guy does the different strategy, we were both like, no way that's gonna happen, that one guy wins it over all of these guys choosing one strategy, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, and I'm not trying to jinx him, but it's looking like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying a word after what
Yeah, no, you
now,
might just sit back for this one, because Otto's gonna probably fly off the track if you say anything right now. The gap is still the same. Actually, it's gone 3/10 up.
Yeah, even with that tyre deficit, really, it's become now with the wear on those softs. It looks like he's still got the pace to.
Yeah, this is insanity. It's and look at the consistency with it that he brings as well. It's consistently getting slower, that is true, because of tire deck, but compared to the rest of the field, it isn't really as slow. Last lap for Dutchy, 45.3. Last lap for Atte, 44.9.
Yeah, Atte is doing a brilliant job at the minute.
I think it's even more than brilliant, the way he's been racing here. He's still flying away as Dutchy and Rami are fighting, and these fights, they are fun to watch, but for these guys they must be excruciating.
Yeah, especially for Rami. He needs to be in P2, and he needs to be trying to go out and find Atty, because that championship battle is so close between the two of them.
Yeah, and right now it's just slipping out of his hands slowly, but every mistake extra is a mistake too much basically right now, and Atte is still flying away. It's insane. As we got some viewers in the chat saying hello, Venkat, maybe a tier 2 driver there if you recognize him?
I don't think so.
Just a random viewer maybe. Hello. Well, you are watching one of the greatest battles I've ever seen between Atte and some drivers here. This is... Oh, he's almost done on tires. So yeah, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. But it's on lap 14. He might go for it on the softs. Let's see. Softs right now.
It might be you have to go on to the mediums. We'll see though. We'll see. New softs again. It's
new softs. What a man! And he goes out of the pit lane. Possibly before, no, not before, never mind. But that is bold. That is bold, sorry, not bold. It's bold. Really bold.
Mediums.
Oh, it is mediums.
It is mediums.
Ah, I saw softs on the bottom.
I saw softs as well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's not me getting old then. Alright, I had a little bit of a constellation for me.
He is going to come out though, right behind Nathan Marriott, but obviously that tyre deficit. Atty, he's built that gap, 12 seconds to P2, net P2.
Yeah.
He can't afford to be held up too long behind Marriott.
Indeed, and this is a nice four-way battle actually for P5, but look at the tire difference, and he's already gone to the inside here, and that is a easy pass as Nathan actually gets a 1 second penalty as well. At this point, he's gaining so much time, it might actually be hurting you to not pit right now, as you're a medium runner in the top 4.
Yeah, just get on those softs as quickly as possible, because they clearly are the faster tyre over the 14 laps.
And let's not forget the undercut that I was talking about earlier. It's in full effect right now. If anyone stays out any longer, they're going to lose only more time. Because Otto's on new softs and he's flying.
Yeah, and he's got no one in front of him for a good 4 seconds, so he can really get the hammer down.
It's going to be interesting to see who will pit, who will be the smartest at the end of this race. It's going to be the first one to cross the line. As I'm about to say, is it going to rain? But it's America. It doesn't rain in America, because Americans apparently haven't in Gran Turismo. Dutchy, let's see, not in the pits.
Rami's in.
Rami's in, undercut. There we go. Cameron's not in. Toussaint is in. It's exactly split evenly. That's perfect.
So Cameron and Dutchy then are going to have to, well, put an absolute lap in here to stay in front.
And I don't think that's going to happen. Respectfully to these drivers, they're on so much worse tires.
Yeah, and they'll be going on to softs as well, Rami and Toussaint.
Yeah. Yeah, but look at the gap. I mean, Canadian is out just now, and Otte is already on the straight for the chicane.
Yeah, that
Insane.
is a bold strategy by Atta to start on the softs. He was risking possibly getting stuck behind someone at the start, but it seems to have paid off for him.
Yeah, definitely. It has paid off, and he's done really well there. I do think that this might be one of the best strategical moves I've seen in one of these races. And not only that, it was a move that no one really makes, because none of the others in the grid did.
Yeah, they all went for the safe mediums to softs.
Yeah, that is.
It seems like soft to mediums is the way to go.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Bonival in the meantime with a penalty. 1 second time penalty. He's going to drop to P6. If Nathan gets his pedal to the floor, and he does. Nice move by Nathan there. Gets P5. Let's see if Cameron and Dutchy pit this lap though. Evan Dalton checking in on us. Hello, Evan Dalton. This is the moment where Elliot starts asking for money. We should ask for a salary right now. Both drivers in the pit, by the way, P1 and P2. Atta is going to be in the lead after this one.
Yeah. So it's 3. Oh, yeah, we've got P4 and P5 in the pits as. Oh, no, just P4 in the pits. Piero also in. So now it's where Dutchy and Cameron are going to come out in regards to Rami and Toussaint. Obviously, those two going for the undercut.
Yep, and usually the undercuts, at least for the undercut for Atta worked out, so we're gonna have to see, but I do think Rami's gonna come out in front. Oh, it's really close! It's really close, but I think Rami's has it, and yep, Rani has it. Evan Dalton reporting, I'm the only commentator that ever has been paid in an FVR race. Stop trying my luck. I will never stop trying my luck, Evan Dalton. Elliot, you should stand up for yourself right now and protest. I'd say jinx a driver right now. Who's going to win this race?
6 and 7 there. As Toussaint's just managed to get him on the uphill sector 1 there from Cameron.
And remember, Toussaint was behind. He was in P5. Net P5 is now in net P4.
Yeah.
He's been, as we were saying, he was driving 45s the whole race. Everyone else was a second faster. He's still ahead just because of the consistency, and that really goes to show how much consistency plays a big factor in these races.
Yeah, especially when you've got people battling and making mistakes, you know, running wide, picking up penalties. Consistency really pays off in the long run.
It does, and I mean, look at Atta right now. He's 6 seconds ahead of 2 cars who are yet to pit. Rami is the first one, and he's 13.4 seconds off. Insane. He's gained even, because it was 12.8 when he pitted.
Even with that tyre deficit to net P2 and net P3, he's still pulling out a decent time on them.
He's actually doing 44.4, which was his lap 9, lap 8, lap 10 pace basically. So yeah, that's insane. Let's see if Rami's gonna... Yeah, he's done a brilliant lap here. 43.8. He's catching. It's not over yet.
Will he have enough time?
Yeah, that's the main question. 11 laps, 13 seconds. It's gonna be tight.
It is. That's more than a second a lap.
Yeah. But I do it. I'm a talented driver, so I think Rami can do it as well. Dutchy is also still close together. These guys cannot afford to make any mistake throughout the whole race, and that's something you don't really see in any other tiers. The level of driving here and the basically how close this race has been for 17 laps already. It's going to be for the next 11 as well. It's insane.
Yeah, P4 and P5 are still bumper to bumper, pretty much. Or they were down that back straight. They were pretty close, but going through this middle sector here, obviously. Toussaint pitting a lap before Cameron, gonna have a lap different tyres. Can't see that really playing a major effect on this battle, but Cameron looking ever closer down this straight. Too far away to have a go though.
Too far away for now. I mean, we've got the long straight coming up soon, and that tow is gonna bring him even closer. And surely when you have a bad exit like that, what was that, Toussaint? And now it's getting closer and closer, and Cameron's on the back. You can already smell P4 from here, but he needs to do it cleanly and fast, because last time he passed him, there was a mistake, a penalty, and Toussaint somehow still was faster.
Yeah, if he's going to do it, he needs to get it over and done with, because he will be bleeding time fighting Toussaint.
Yep, he will, and it's not enough right now. Look at that. I mean, there is still a long straight coming up, so this exit is going to decide it. Let's see who gets it. Both got a decent exit there. Not really anyone with a different exit. It's still insanity to me how close this grid is together. It's. Have you seen this in Tier 2?
Not in Tier 2, no, but previous races of Tier 1, it's been like this. As Cameron looking quite close to Toussaint there. He lifts off towards the end of the straight.
Smart move though.
Lifting off the throttle, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a safe playing move there, as he you can see how good the tow was. He got the fastest sector there for a moment. Oh, as we just got the car going airborne. I don't know if that was a mistake by the game or that was actually someone going airborne. Part of his tires just went up in the air. He's literally flying now. As we got him now on the back of Toussaint for one more time on the straight. Let's see if he goes for the move here. Not enough, I think.
It just looks to be a little bit too far behind, as Dutchy stolen fastest lap from Atta.
Yeah, and these guys are catching up. It's 1 second now. That's been gained back to Atta. Atta might have practiced more on the softs and the mediums, I think.
Yeah, his pace certainly looked rapid on those softs, but he's still 44 ones on the mediums is still looking a little bit faster than what Rami was doing on the mediums.
Yeah, definitely. You've got these guys, of course, chasing you on the softs as well, so 6/10 per lap faster is really respectable. Yeah. He was getting away faster than they are catching up right now. That's for sure, but space on the mediums isn't as insane as the space on the softs, but he might have already given himself the win there with the strategy on the beginning and the pace on the beginning.
Yeah, he's built that gap. He just needs to maintain it best he can and bring it home, really.
Indeed. Cameron now closing up again on the same part of the track. He lifts off yet again. It's a car slide a bit through. I don't know if this is some part of his strategy where he catches up on the last lap and then passes him, but it's tricky to do this.
Yeah, because Dutchy and Rami are pulling away from the pair of these two, so should be wanting to get past as quickly as he can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one for both of them to deploy, or well, it's gonna be hard to judge when you should overtake, because these guys are so close together right now, on pace as well as on track, that you don't really know when you should pull the move, because the tow keeps happening every lap basically is gonna just pull each other close together again.
Yeah, and they have got 8 seconds to Piero behind them, so they can afford to battle if they want, but it's a weird strategy lifting off at the end of the straight.
Exactly, as I think this straight is not enough at the moment. No, it's not enough for him. Let's see that gap between Atte and Canadian is now only 11 seconds, and it's still 0.6 a lap faster for Rami. As I've received a message from a tier 2 driver there. If you want to milk Spider GT, just say that I won in tier 2 and Tim also got a podium. So hereby, Liam has won a race. For all other tier 2 drivers, how can you let that happen? That man will not go. He's not gonna stop talking about this. Please don't let it happen again. Anyway, we're gonna go back to the racing. You've got Dutchy now closing up to Canadian. And that's the one thing you don't want to have, as your championship fight goes away by someone else taking your position.
Yeah, Rami needs that P2 to keep his championship hopes alive, because Atty is unreachable. 10 seconds, 8 laps. It'd be tricky to catch him. Yeah.
Indeed. Dutchy now closing up as well, as Liam has received a message and is not happy. We're gonna move on for that. Dutchy is closing up really fast right now, and I think that the toe on the straight should be enough for a overtake. It should be, as long as you get the exit right.
Yeah, Dutchy on a fastest of anyone through that middle sector.
See it then, last corner, maybe some action over here with the bad exits. Not a bad exit for anyone really, but Dutchy's so close now, he must be smelling that position. It's not enough. Look at that straight line speed on the Porsche. Wow.
Yeah, pulling away down that straight. It's going to be difficult.
Insane. Didn't know the Porsche was fast like that.
Yeah. It's a weird one. There's no Porsches in tier 2. Well, none that have driven, I don't think, from memory. But the Mercedes there looks like he might have a look here into the fast chicane. Does he back out, or he just backs out?
The risk they take by going so close together into that corner is insane. If the guy breaks in 1 or maybe 10 meters earlier, then you're in the rear of him. I mean,
yeah,
they trust each other a lot. You can clearly see that, but it's a bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, you gotta trust your rival there that he's not gonna do something erratic. As P4 and P5 still pretty close on circuit. Looking further back, it looks pretty close between Nathan Marriott and Bonneville as well. So possibly gonna make some moves towards the end of the race.
Definitely could be. Nathan Marriott, of course, has been driving a bit of a weird race here. He was up in the top 5 the top 6 for a brief moment of time at the beginning, but he's dropped back and never really caught up to the grid again. Don't know if there was some sort of a big mistake or.
I think he had a penalty.
Well,
and he's lost track position and then not managed to get it back.
Meantime, we've got Dutchy now closing up again to Canadian Ramster. This has been a story that's been written a lot. Cameron, in the meantime, inside line now on Toussaint. Let's see it happening over here already. That is really tight, and I don't see how that's gonna work on the long term here, because Toussaint has got the inside line for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be all about who
breaks the latest.
Contact.
No contact.
Oh, Cameron gets ahead though, but he's got a penalty. Oh, that's going to really hamper him, because he's going to lose so much time for that. It's not just a second, it'll be 1.2, 1.5, and that'll put him quite far behind Toussaint.
Yeah, and this move from the beginning, why? It's just gonna, unfortunate, but not necessary.
It's an unconventional place to try and go round the outside into the fast chicane, but it doesn't look like it's paid off for him.
Indeed, and that is unfortunate, because he is now far behind and has to go all over again.
9.1 then, between P1, P2.
It's getting closer and closer, but with only 6 laps to go, it's actually per lap, it's not going as fast as it usually is, because now you can see the effects of the tires of the softs, they're dropping off.
Yeah, all the soft runners pitting around the same time. They all look, especially with that front left, starting to lose a little bit. But if you look at Atta's tyres as well, they don't look too far off with that front left. Doesn't look too far off the degradation of the soft tyre runners.
Indeed, it doesn't look too far off. But I think the difference in the drop-off that's gonna happen is gonna be insane. These guys basically have the chance to gain back the time they lost with the tire difference in the first parts of their race, or sorry, their stint. But right now their tires are only getting worse and worse, and Atta is gonna get faster and faster compared to these guys.
Yeah. The tire deficit is gonna decrease really for the Corvette.
Yep, definitely. In the meantime, you've got Nathan Marriott in last place. Something happened there again between him and Bonival. Because that gap has just gone down to 3/10. Oh, now it's up again. A little bit of an inconsistency. Driver we haven't talked about a lot. Piero, silent race for him. Bit of a no man's land race for him.
Yeah, six seconds in front, 5 seconds to the cars behind. So he's just got to keep it tidy, not make any mistakes. Hope that battling up front means he can catch up, but that's a bit of a stretch for 6.7 seconds.
It is, but P6 is still a nice result, and if he keeps it tidy, indeed, as you were saying, it's just P6, and that's also some good points. So maybe it's worth it to a little bit less of throttle and a little bit more of not risking it into these last laps, because it's only 4 laps and you don't want to waste anything right now. 4 laps to go. 8 seconds is the gap now to Atta, and that's going to be 2 seconds per lap, and we're already underway in this lap, so it's not looking great, the chances, and I believe we should start cashing our bets that we earlier played with, because Atta seems to be winning.
Yeah, 8 seconds, 4 laps. With the tyre deficit decreasing for him, with the degradation of the softs, I can't see him being caught really, if he maintains this pace.
Indeed, and we're not even going to be talking about the fact that, I mean, Atta's pace right now is, it's somehow so consistent. Just no chance of a mistake happening on his side right now, and I know there's a commentary jinx, and I know what I've just said, and I know what I'm risking, but look at this pace. If you look at the timing sheet, it's only 44s.
It is something to look at. Yeah. When you look down at the timings, just 144 the whole way down.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously consistent.
Here, watch this. It's gonna be another one right now. Here, boom. And it's only a 10th of his last lap as well. It's yeah. That's I usually say I could have done it better, but at this point I'm just gonna stop being an irritating commentator and say I cannot do that. It's insane.
Dutchy holds the fastest lap though with a 43.3.
Indeed,
so,
and that's still a point
for him.
Yeah, it is still a point.
He's dropped off a bit from Rami, so he not really going to have a chance towards the end of the race unless Rami makes a critical error, because those last few laps by Rami have just been a little bit quicker than Dutchy. Yeah,
indeed, but it's these guys have made a lot of track limits mistakes, so maybe at the end or something, but I think there's also a point where you've driven for 25 laps, you know exactly how the car feels and what it's gonna do when you do something, so I think these mistakes will actually they're less likely to happen. Once you get the experience in or get in a certain state of flow, it's just different.
Talking about Piero, just a few moments ago, keeping it consistent, he's got himself a half a second penalty.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you jinx someone's race. We did it again.
We're pretty good at this.
Yeah, we should do this more often. Which is maybe, you know, since we're already betting on Atte, should we just talk about how Ramsey's race is going insanely good right now? His pace is good, no mistakes, clear race, stuff like that, you know, it's gonna end up flying to, to Canada.
He's got P2 in the bag, you know.
Yeah, it's already a done race
easy,
as well for
yeah.
Rami. Yeah, it's completely done. Dutchie's got no chance. I'm gonna see him now. This lap's gonna be critical now, because the karma gods are now on our side and not on his. In the meantime, we've got Nathan Marriott still trying to catch Bonival, but these guys are also maintaining the same gap somehow. It's insane how many guys are on the same pace.
Yeah, Toussaint and Cameron, the gap's gone from 1.6 last lap to 0.9. So Cameron there with a bit of a pace.
Yep, that is oh.
Penalty, for God's sake.
It's the second time you've done Cameron as well. I think you should be sending him a gift basket after this.
I need to apologise to Cameron after this
You do
race,
need to send like a apology letter or something, you know. You might want to take like a video or something, an apology video. Oh, that is insane. It's the third one as well. You're on something today.
It's a shame though, because he was catching Toussaint and he was lifting off at the end of the straights, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And you just think if he made that move earlier, would he still be ahead? Yeah.
Yeah. That's always you have these moments within races where you think if I had gone for that move or if I backed out of that move, what would have happened? But yeah, right now I think Toussaint will send you a thank you message after the race because he's been having some sort of an angel on his shoulder as we are entering the 27th lap. It is now a 6-second gap and the tires of Rami have dropped off even more.
Yeah, I can't see 6 seconds in a lap and a half. I can't. That's.
Well, let's not talk about it right now. Because
what's just happened,
yeah, we might just have something happening here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, I cannot see theoretically in a different race that a 6-second gap would be lost. Yeah, I agree with your point. It's gonna be very safe with my words over here. Bonival in the meantime, chase down now and it's close. It's really close. Nathan goes on the outside here. We've seen it go wrong here earlier. Not going wrong this time though. Nathan chooses the wiser option of keeping the car and not parts of the other car. This is great battling actually. 29 seconds off the lead, but it's still fighting like you're fighting for a championship.
Yeah, these guys' tyres are absolutely, that front left, looking in a really, really poor state here. But being on the penultimate lap, it's all, well, the gloves are off really. It's all come down to this.
Exactly, and this is going to be the part of the race where you see drivers dive bombing, making bigger moves, and hopefully we're going to see that from Nathan as well, because P7 might not seem like a good result, but every single point matters, and the example of that is happening right now in your leading part of the race. We've got Atte and Rami, only a 1 point difference. In the end, we don't know how much it's going to matter, these final positions, so everyone should be fighting for it like they're fighting for a championship, which I think is going to happen as well here.
Yeah, Dutchie looking reasonably close to Rami there.
Indeed. Maybe enough for the slipstream this time. Remember though, the Porsche was super fast last time around. Doesn't look as fast right now though. He's catching up. It's 2/10 now and he's weaving. He knows it. It's closing. It's closing, but it's not going to be enough for this chicane. Maybe for the final straight or that one before it. Oof, it's so close and he might get pressured into... Oh no!
Penalty. Oh, you've done it this time.
This is my man. This is... I'm just not going to watch these guys anymore. That is poor. Ah, now I've just
Cameron's got one as well.
Oh. You see, we didn't even mention Cameron and he's trying to get into the stream again.
P7, P8, Bonival smacks the wall, cuts the chicane.
Oh no!
He's in the wall, he's in the... Oh!
Oof.
Half a second penalty, just missing the wall there on the exit of the chicane.
And Nathan Marriott has got that position, P7. Meantime, though, we're going to skip to one guy who has done it all race. It's still 44s. If you look to your right of the screen, you can see what consistency means and an example of it. Atte Timgren has led the whole race, except for that one lap where he wasn't into the pits. He has made 0 mistakes, I believe. No, 1 mistake actually. But he's just done it again. The consistency, the strategy, he's pulled it off again. And yet this lap is also going to be... Oh no, it's not going to be a 44, that's unfortunate. But he wins this race, just missing out of the consistency record there, I'd say, as Rami goes across the finish line now. Same for Dutchy. Toussaint goes across the finish line next. P4 for him, showing that consistency, even though it might be slower than others, still matters more. Cameron now, P5. Piero with the silent race, P6. Nathan Marriott's going to be crossing the line next. P7 for him after a very interesting ending to Bonneville's race. And I think we should head down to the bookies because we've won money.
Yeah,
we have. Yeah. Gonna enjoy a little round of beers now, paid by us basically. Because the commentary jinx has been insane on this one, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been well, everything I said, the opposite happened.
Oh, same for me though. We have jinxed a few drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the grid one more time. We've got Atte in the lead. We've got Rami in P2. We've got Dutchy in P3, meaning those two will take the Constructors' Championship lead as well. Toussaint in P4. P5 will be for Cameron. Piero will be P6. And Nathan Marriott taking the second to last position in the beautiful BMW, which unfortunately wasn't as fast as it only... as it seemed to be... well... Delivery was beautiful, the car just didn't get it today. P8 for Bonneville, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your grid. We've got some people in the chat. Kyle, your only jinx didn't work on Atte, the rest worked, and that is true. It's because Atte is just superior. He's gonna crash the next race now that I said that. Anyway, I want to thank Elliot for joining me today. It's been an amazing commentary experience for me, so thank you for that.
It's alright, yeah. It's been fun.
It truly has been, and thank you for Evan for the opportunity as well to do this. We will see the paychecks in our email. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week when we hit the track one more time, or actually a couple more times again. But thank you for now. Stay safe, stay well.